Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. So yeah, hope you guys are offended by my shirt. You know, just is what it is, isn't it? We've all got some bad shirts that we like to wear every now and again. Anyway, so yeah, we'll go straight over to the charts. One thing real quick, if you guys wouldn't mind just hitting the like button on this video, that would be amazing. I know I don't remind you guys very often, but I see that I'm getting a lot more likes now, so I know a lot more of you guys are hitting the like, so I really appreciate that. And then one other final thing is if you guys wouldn't mind going over to my Twitter. This is my Twitter here. Not that one. Here we go. So here's my Twitter. Let me just get rid of this here. What's going on? Yeah, so here's my Twitter. This is it's basically just Trading with Dan on Twitter. Trading with Dan, look, same as this. So if you guys wouldn't mind, you guys that are on Twitter, just giving me a follow. And then also I basically put the videos, every video I do every day, I put on here as well. So if you just want to retweet that on your Twitter, that would be just be a massive help, guys, to help me get my Twitter followers up. Right, so anyway, enough of that. Right, so yeah, as you can see, we got our touch up to basically the 9,800 zone, like we've been talking. Yeah, this is, well, how we got very close, didn't we? Where did we top out? Basically 9,070, let's call it 68. But yeah, we were looking at basically a tap up of this zone. This was always the target all along. As soon as we broke here, I was like, we're definitely, not definitely, I was like, we're pretty much going to get to here, then get to here. And then I did say, even yesterday, I said that, I mean, we're going to at least get a wick up here. We're going to, not for, I mean, I didn't say for definite, it's not financial advice, but I said basically it's I think it's very likely we're going to get a wick up here. I don't know if we're going to trade or hold up there, but we're going to get a wick up here because we've come so far. This is the next box of thingy. It's above trend line, so there's liquidity there. They're going to give it a try, and then yeah, I mean, you can see what happened. We got up there, and then we got rejected, and we're back into the pennant. So like I said, I was more clear down here in my mind where we were going to go, each of the stepping stones, but now obviously we're at a big macro area, and it's just a case of you just have to basically play it as we go. We've got a few things here to be a bit concerned about at the moment, where we've got obviously short-term stochastics coming down. We've got the 4-hour coming down, the 3-hour coming down, the 2-hour coming down, the 12-hour as well. Looks like the 12-hour being the main one. Looks like that could start to looks like it could start to come down. It may just come down and test this trend line and then bounce back up, in which case we'll basically have a massive rally to 11,500 probably, or we're gonna come back down on here and then probably come down and test the bottom of the pennant, maybe one last time where we can reload our Bitcoin around 9,000 and then basically moon. So obviously that'll be nice. That'll be nice to see. I mean, moon now's fine, but I mean moon next week, fine also. But yeah, but at the moment though, the 12 hour though is we are looking top in the stochastics. We're looking top in a lot of the lower term time frames. We've wicked up to this zone. We've actually got an inside candle here, inside bearish candle. We have also got a TD 12-hour 9 here to go with what is coming up with our TD weekly 9, and then incidentally we actually have a 4-hour 9 coming up too here. A 4-hour 9. We actually won't print a 9 unless we trade above back into this zone, but either way this is good enough to basically tell me we're potentially going to get some downside to play out here. So yeah, obviously everything's statistics and probabilities, but what I would say is that the downside is more likely now. We've got some very easy levels here to put in for potential basically trades. I mean, it is clearly a wick below the level, below basically this 9 candle on the 12-hour, which is coming in. First of all, it's coming in below our support zone here, which is important, and then yeah, and then obviously gives us a little bit of extra leeway. So it's coming in about 9,390. So and then we can see we did this extra line we drew in here. Which is at 9,330. So what I would say to be extra conservative, if we basically take out the line that we drew in, I mean this line I mean, there's three lines here. There's three major lines that people will be looking at, traders will be looking at. There'll be this support line here, old resistance, new support. There will be the bottom of this 9 candle wick, like I always tell you how I trade the TD sequential. And then there'll obviously be this low here, which is the low of this move down before we obviously push back up. So all these levels, I believe, if we take out, let's just call it what it is, 9,300, just the easiest one. If we take out 9,300, then I think at the very least we are going to see a move down to probably sub 9,000, just sub 9,000. Maybe we get a bit punchy with our sell-off. We get a wick down to the 8,600. But obviously I have to see this in real time. But my assumption would be that would be enough to get our 12-hour Stokes down. Daily Stokes are still looking really good. Look, well, say really good. They are starting to look like they're coming over. Look like they are going to be hit by this trend line. So maybe they're not looking as good as they were when I looked earlier today. But yeah, so we look like we could come down. So yeah, I mean, on the balance of probabilities, we've got the weekly TD9 coming up. We've got this 12-hour 9 coming up. We've got massive macro overhead trend lines, overhead horizontals as well. We're in this nice pennant. I believe it would make sense for us to have some short-term downside, potentially down to 9,000, maybe some wicks down to this support here. And then, well, hopefully we then basically get supported and turn around and go up. I mean, that's what I'm kind of hoping will happen. Obviously, there's nothing. I mean, that's what I'm hoping will happen. There's no real hope involved in what the trades will be. The trades will be obviously go short. My trades will be. Obviously, this is not financial advice. It's basically to go short under 9,300, take profits around these levels, and then obviously look for some sort of reversal candle, some sort of indication, maybe the 12 hours, maybe some consolidation and move back up. That's what I'll kind of be looking at for, obviously, then the next trade idea. Failing that, obviously our upside is pretty simple as well. Breaking over 9,800 and holding on, like, say a larger time frame candle, so say 4, 8, 12-hour candle, breaking above 9,800, I think we are going to at least see well, we're just going to see more upside, guys, I think. I mean, there's no real other way to put that. We're just going to see, I mean, you just take your pick. I mean, I can't really say. I mean, things get a bit wild up in these zones. I mean, all bets are off. I mean, where we go. I mean, there's no real price action history in Bitcoin. There's no price action history in Bitcoin's history. There's not a lot of price action above these levels. So there's just basically the Bitcoin price just has free reign to do whatever it wants. So that'll be exciting. Those times are coming anyway, guys. Those times are coming. Anyway, so yeah, but yeah, in the short term, yeah, potential downside. Another thing I always like to keep an eye on, weekend Wall Street. Obviously, you guys know we're not a political channel here, but obviously we've got some political things going on in the US. Could be a drag on stock markets. We know stock markets are massively correlated to BTC. BTC is massively correlated to the stock market, has been for years. Obviously, there's various divergences over like a few weeks or days or whenever, but ultimately we do pretty much follow. So if this is a bear market bounce in the stock markets and we get a move down, I know I'm looking at this chart, but yeah, but if we have a look at not that one. If we have a look at the stock market on, like I say, a daily, if this is basically a bear market bounce and we start to take out these lows here and start to come down, even if we don't make a new low, but we hit some of these 0.5s, this is the 618 of the retracement as opposed to the extension. But yeah, so this level or even the 236, then I mean, we just got to expect that downside for Bitcoin as well. I mean, you just got to, trading is about probabilities. We have been massively correlated over time, so the probabilities will stay correlated. So therefore, if the stock markets go down, we will go down. It is that simple. I mean, philosophically, fundamentally, okay, one day maybe stock markets will collapse and global currencies will collapse, and Bitcoin may decouple them, because maybe that will then get seen as an actual viable form of currency, maybe. But until that happens, and we're operating in this current financial system as is, you just have to expect the risk on, risk off correlations to basically, and then obviously liquidity needs to basically just perpetuate. One last thing I do want to say as well, obviously our larger time frames are still looking very good. Like, it's a bit cluttered here. It's looking very good. What I will say is, I just want to push back on some volume comments that obviously are very justified, very TA justified, statistically correct volume comments about how we have declining volume with an upwards moving price, which is a bearish sign. What I will say though is that ultimately a concern, but the pushback I want to give is that we are at macro levels here. So if we get a break above, yes, volume will increase, but that doesn't mean it's going to have to be sell side volume. The volume increasing can be buy or sell side volume, so we can still break up. And then the other pushback I want to have is that this pull down, this market, we had what was pretty much a reasonable sort of price action, a sell-off, a large descending triangle, the move down, a bit of consolidation, then we started to push back up. We started to then consolidate that zone, and then we were starting to look like we're going to have push up. We obviously know what happened in the financial markets and the global health market, so we had a big push down, which we then recovered quite quickly. What I would like to say on this declining volume, there is another fundamental view on this declining volume in this rally, and that is that lots of people got squeezed out their BTC positions, their long-term BT hodls, their basically liquidated positions. They basically lost BTC in this move. Not many people got a lot richer by basically shorting this and making loads of BTC. Some people obviously did, but if we're talking about sheer numbers, I think lots more people that want BTC now don't have BTC. So in this move upwards has not really given anybody a reasonable buying opportunity, other than just FOMO buy. FOMO buy, we're going up, FOMO buy. After such a sharp move down, it's the same in the stock market. It's exactly the same in the stock markets. No one's been given like a reasonable buying opportunity. It's just been, you're going to have to hit the buy today, FOMO buy. I mean, any slight retrace, FOMO buy. You're not getting there's no deep retraces. No deep retraces on this move back up. It's just been complete V-shaped as of now. Obviously, stock market's looking a bit more looking a bit less V-shaped than BTC is looking, but hey, BTC is just a bit more wild. But so anyway, what my point is, the low volume tells me that not a lot of people are bought in on this rally. Yeah, that's obviously people say is bearish, but if we start to break these macro levels and the volume then has to obviously start coming in, there's lots of people that basically want to buy. And they're just going to have to be like, right, I'm now going to have to FOMO in. The declining volume tells me that they didn't FOMO in on this rally up. So these guys are going to have to FOMO in once we start moving. And that's a lot of FOMO action that's potentially going to hit the market. Obviously, I mean, I don't like to look into it too much, but we've got like the Paul Tudor Jones of the worlds and the GBTCs and the actual like all the day trading that is going on with all the people that aren't currently working and getting stimulus checks and exit and various nothing to do, furlough money. They're all day trading. Not they're all day trading. Lots of them are day trading. All the Robin Hoodies. I mean, if we start to break up, start to look up, they are good. Money is going to pile into this market. The volume is going to come in, and it won't matter that the volume was decreasing. What will matter is that because that volume was decreasing and no one bought this rally, then the rally didn't go up on high volume, is that there's lots of volume to come in, and that could literally skyrocket the price. I mean, you just have to look at what the Robin Hoodies can do to things like Tesla. And you just, yeah, I mean, there's lots of other examples too of basically what can happen once we start to really break out. And this is a big long formation, guys. It isn't just going to be the retail that's going to FOMO in here. And don't forget, this market is very low market cap over compared to other markets. This market is very easy to move. So there's obviously there's serious big time whale traders are there ever. Basically professional traders and look at a breakout of this and say, right, okay, buy. Then there's also going to be all the FOMO Joes that are going to be like buy. I mean, another example is maybe look at this XRP chart. XRP US dollar. Yeah, ignore obviously what happened here. Ignore what happened afterwards. But yeah, just look at this move and look at this move. This move, we did nothing. As soon as we started moving, bang. And I mean, I don't even want to. I mean, it's embarrassing, this percentage move, like 1,000%. So this is just an example of what happens when the volume does come into the buy side, and then bang, and then we just have a massive rally. Obviously, I'm not expecting this sort of crazy move, this sort of crazy move in BTC, but I'm expecting some sort of a move, just a big move. You guys know what I'm saying. So that's my pushback against this declining volume. There's not been chance to buy. I know Bitcoin hodlers. I speak to Bitcoin hodlers, like my friends, people that I work with, traders, and they haven't added to their hodl positions in this move up. So and then the volume tells me people aren't adding, and lots of people did get squeezed out. I mean, you can't not get squeezed. If you got any sort of leverage position, you got squeezed out. If you had basically any sort of sell orders to stop out and to take profits based on wherever you bought Bitcoin, you got hit. And then did you get much chance to buy in? Did you hit the button on these days? Probably not. Did you wait for a chance to hit the button? Never came. So right, anyway, I've gone on too long, guys. So yeah, like quick summary of the price. What I'm saying is, what I'm looking at is some potential downside. Maybe we are gonna test some lower based on some oscillators, some higher time frame oscillators, especially the 12-hour. Maybe we are gonna basically come down, test the bottom of the pennant, hopefully get supported, maybe have some wicks down to here, and then bang. Failing that, any hot candle basically break and holds over in this zone here, then I think we're just off to the races now. And then that volume we're talking about is going to have to come in. And then one final aspect that we have to consider is what's going to happen with this stock market. Weekend Wall Street is currently indicating lower. We have obviously things, unrest in America. Maybe that's going to weigh on the stock market. Maybe the stock market knows it doesn't really matter what happens in the real world because the Fed's got their back. So maybe we won't get a retracement. Maybe we'll just get a hyper bubble in all assets and regardless of what's going on in the economy. Maybe. These are a lot of things that we've got to see in real time and assess and trade accordingly, like good Bayesian people. Operating with our Bayesian inference model. Anyway, so alright, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, please hit the like button, please subscribe to my Twitter, share the videos, and I will speak to you all soon.